Away they go. In the AG Hunter Cup, the members race. Yulstar went to the lead from Culbers. Happy Asset, Slug of Gin running on. Yulstar in front, a length clear. Happy Asset and Slug of Gin coming. Yulstar in front with 50 to go. They won't get him. Yulstar wins the AG Hunter Cup. Elsu swept up, coming in after him, flashing red. But Elsu zoomed away from young Rufus. Then flashing red, the walk drive. But it's Elsu in front of flashing red. Oh, he's got to be the best horse in the Southern Hemisphere. What a run, the Kiwi champ. Elsu's won the Hunter Cup. 2,760 metres, the green light is on. Fling it on, back to the inside. Lenny the Shark, Smolder, here's Fling it on. Fling it on, gets through on the Garrard Spring Lane. And it's Fling it on's cup. Fling it on shoots away. Fling it on first. Turning for home, King of Swing from Lochinvar. Amazing Dream gets the run. Spirit of St. Louis wider. It's King of Swing in front. Spirit of St. Louis out wide's coming. It's King of Swing fighting though. Oh, he's a superstar, a champion pacer. King of Swing wins his second. It's Leap to Fame clear, the Queensland star. He takes another great leap towards the great stage, and he takes the Hunter Cup in style.
Yeah, g'day everyone. Welcome to the Morning Line on this Tuesday. It's great to have your company. Hope we find you well. As you saw, it's Hunter Cup week with the Great Southern Stars Group 1 final. Also to be run this Saturday from Melton. What a week it's going to be. And here exclusively this morning on Sky One's The Morning Line, we have the barrier draw for both of those races. Crucial barrier draws as well because it's a star-studded lineup, as we know, that we will contest the Hunter Cup. Leap to Fame goes around with half-brother Swayze, New Zealand representation as well. Brittany Graham, a very good morning to you. It's going to be an exciting week and an exciting next half an hour or so with the barrier draws.
It sure is, Lewis. Good morning. Great to have you with us. And we're about to join Ryan Phelan and Paul Oxenford out of our Melbourne studio to conduct this barrier draw live. And what a vital barrier draw it is. We know draws in harness racing are extremely important. Sometimes when you add Leap to Fame to the mix in that conversation, a few say, well, it doesn't matter where he draws, he can overcome bad barriers, and he has in the past. We know he created his own little bit of history when he was able to overcome a bad barrier draw in the Miracle Mile last year. But this is some sort of harness race. I think it's been a long time since we've had a race and depth of this quality where we've got the Kiwis back, which is amazing. It's not an AG Hunter Cup without the Kiwis, and there are three: Republican Party, Tack McLeod and Don't Stop Dreaming, who's arriving later this week. Don't Stop Dreaming, of course, running in last year's edition and running second, adding to this great rivalry between Leap to Fame and Swayze. And we know that the younger brother, Leap to Fame, has one up on Swayze, or a couple in fact, in regards to their head-to-head battle. But Swayze has beaten Leap to Fame in the past. Conjecture and drama aside, it's the fact of the matter. And then you have the Eureka and Inter-Dominion champion Don Hugo, who's second up, and we know his second up record is immense. We saw it, and I guess his fitness really improved throughout the Inter-Dominion series. It's great to have a horse like Captain's Knock there because he's an up-and-comer. And what about the old boy, Max Delight, lining up in another AG Hunter Cup, his third, and he's looking, well, he is going as well as he ever has. His performance last week was quite astonishing. There are a lot of horses, and it's remiss of me to not mention a few more because this is a great field for the AG Hunter Cup. Leap to Fame is looking to be the first horse to go back-to-back in the AG Hunter Cup since Blossom Lady achieved that feat in 94 and 95. She came off 20 and 30 metre handicaps respectively, but history says it's not easy to do. King of Swing won 2 Hunter Cups, but Lochinvar Art was able to take one in between his 2 successes, so they weren't consecutive. The honour roll is incredible, Ryan Phelan. As I say, good morning to you. The Great Blacks are Fake is there. This is a race that everyone wants to win, and there'll be a new champion crowned for the 2025 edition, that is, on Saturday night, but maybe not a new champion in terms of their first victory in the race, because we know Leap to Fame is the horse that they all have to beat. I'm going to hand it over to you and Paul to take us through this barrier draw, this all-important barrier draw. This is going to be very, very exciting. Good morning.
Brittany, good morning to you and good morning to our Sky Racing audience. On behalf of Harness Racing Victoria, it's an absolute pleasure to bring this draw exclusively to the Morning Line this morning. And as you articulated, Brittany, this is a champions race and this is a field befitting of that honour roll. You've highlighted some of the superstars of our sport, notably Leap to Fame and half-brother Swayze going head-to-head once again. But it's terrific that our country cups here in the summer season have been honoured as well, with the old stager Bulletproof Boy winning two of those, the Bendigo and Ballarat Cup, and also the Shepparton Cup going the way of Kanina Provlima. So it's a real star-studded cask. I've got Paul Oxenford from Harness Racing Victoria, our chief handicapper. He's going to be drawing the numbers this morning. Drawing the names off screen will be Tim O'Connor from the Harness Racing Victoria Media Department. So without any further ado, let's get in to the 2025 AG Hunter Cup barrier draw. And the first horse out is the New South Welshman Captain's Knock for trainer-driver Brad Hewitt, a three-time Group 1 winner, won 2 heats of the ID24 series and comes up with barrier number 10 for Captain's Knock for Brad Hewitt. Kanina Provlima, obviously going very well for Robbie Morris and Kerry-Ann Morris, winner of the past 2 Shepparton Cups. Barrier 5, 8th in the AG Hunter Cup last year. Tack McLeod, a speedy beginner. We'll talk with Anthony Butt, a special guest, very shortly. Barrier 2. That's a very good draw for that horse. Hall of Fame driver Anthony Butt going for his 8th Hunter Cup victory. Quite extraordinary. Don Hugo, the reigning Inter-Dominion champion. Luke McCarthy is chasing his 3rd win in this race as a driver. Barrier number 4 for Don Hugo. Leap to Fame. Here he is, the champ. Let's see where he draws for Grant Dixon, an 11-time Group 1 winner. Barrier 8. Grant Dixon often says the draws that he never wants are a 1 or an 8. So what does that mean for the market with the champion Leap to Fame drawing awkwardly? MacDan, Mark Pitt, Emma Stewart, 3rd attempt at the AG Hunter Cup. Barrier number 12. Normally a speedy beginner won't get the chance to do that. Bulletproof Boy, who's been so superb through this summer season. James Herbertson and trainer Scott Hewen combining again. A winner of 6 of his last 10 starts. Barrier number 6 for Bulletproof Boy. Republican Party, the Kiwi, for Carter and Cran and Chrissy Dalgetty. Barrier 1 for the 2024 Auckland Cup winner. Max Delight, the old stager. Great to see him in the race for Greg Sugars and David Aiken. Barrier 13 for him, the 2021 Victoria Cup winner. And well done. The great news this week that David Aiken, who 2 years ago was diagnosed with prostate cancer, has been given the all clear. So good luck to David with Max Delight. Swayze, the older half-brother to Leap to Fame, Cam Hart and Jason Grimson. Barrier 11. So some of these fancied runners drawn a little awkwardly off the back row. He's a 4-time Group 1 winner. He's won the last 2 New Zealand Cups. Now we have the Kiwi. Don't Stop Dreaming. Great to have All-Stars racing back. Mark Purdon and Nathan Purdon. Barrier 7. Runner-up in this race last year. He's chasing his 3rd win in the race as a driver is Mark Purdon. Can't Find a Better Man for Chris Alford and Isabel Walsh, winner of the ID24 Consolation. Barrier number 9. Now we have the Emergency Hector.
Barrier 3.
And has come up with barrier number 3. Barrier number 3 for Hector. So just repeating those barrier draws once again. Republican Party, barrier 1. Tack McLeod, barrier 2. Hector, 3. Don Hugo, 4. Kanina Provlima, 5. Bulletproof Boy, 6. And Don't Stop Dreaming, 7. With the Emergency, confirming we'll have 6 off the front. That's correct, isn't it, Paul Oxenford? Off the back row, 1 off the back row, will be barrier 8, Leap to Fame. 9, Can't Find a Better Man. 10, Captain's Knock. 11, Swayze. And 12, MacDan. 13 is Max Delight. So, Brittany, what an intriguing draw that is. As you so well set up earlier, it was going to be a real key to see where Leap to Fame and also Swayze drew. Back row draws for them. Winners of that draw certainly off the front row. Republican Party, even the likes of Tack McLeod and the Inter-Dominion champion Don Hugo. We wanted a race. That draw has given us one now, Brittany. That looks like an absolute dream AG Hunter Cup for 2025.
We certainly do have a race on our hands now, don't we, Ryan? And yeah, you're just trying to look at the race in its entirety very quickly in the last few moments to try and dissect what could potentially happen. I think Team Dixon and Kevin and Kay Seymour will be bitterly disappointed with that barrier draw. I know he's been able to overcome it in the past, but he really is the hunted when it comes to these races, and nobody wants to give an inch. Just looking, he's following out Republican Party, who's a good beginner without being blistering, and can't find a better man drawn directly alongside him with Chris Alford. I cannot imagine Chris wanting to allow Leap to Fame to get off the inside for his sake and for everyone else's sake. I think it's fair to say, because if he does work away quickly, then it's going to be very, very hard for them to defeat him. Maybe the one way that he tastes defeat in this AG Hunter Cup is being devoid of luck. And then a horse like Tack McLeod, who we know has brilliant gate speed, drawn very positively in 2. And Don Hugo, I think, is a massive winner from this barrier draw. It's a very positive gate, and his performance last week just said to me that he really needed that run. His last 100 metres, he loomed into the race before tiring. I think he'll be a much better horse this week, Don Hugo. But as rightly mentioned by Ryan earlier, Anthony Butters had an amazing, successful run in the AG Hunter Cup, and he's in really the box seat to now add another to his CV after that barrier draw. Good morning to you, Ants. I'm looking forward to this chat because I think you'll be pretty happy after what's transpired in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, looks good, Brett. Good morning to you and all the guys. And yeah, I've got Cran and Carter doing the boxes for me while I'm doing the show, so they'll be happy as well. So, no, it's worked out really good.
Barrier 2 just looks perfect on paper because we know this guy has really good gate speed. And I think we probably all even underestimated that gate speed up until last week. It's so important. He is very, very quick, isn't he?
Yeah, for a big horse, Brett, he's really quick on his feet and, got that lightning speed. He actually crossed him pretty easy the other day. I was just a little bit careful the first bit after shepherding with him, but he still, when I sort of asked him to go after about 100 metres, he just crossed him in the steps sort of thing. So you would imagine he'd be the first of the fence, and then he's got a lot of options.
Just on his preparation so far, we know he was touted and he was here to contest an Inter Dominion before things went pear-shaped. He was then able to win on Inter Dominion Grand Final night before yourself and Sonia have taken over as caretaker trainers for the last month or so. He had those 2 Country Cup runs where he was beaten. Has he had a couple of challenges, and was it more a relief on Saturday night that he was able to perform, or has everything started to, I guess, put itself in place? You expected a really bold showing there in the Casey Classic.
Yeah, when he first came down, Brett, he had a couple of issues. He sort of tied up after the float trip down. The day he came down was a really hot day, and he sort of tied up for 2 or 3 days. So we just had to go easy on him. And then that damn abscess appeared again a few days after that, the one he had in Sydney. So we had to sort of fix that, and just had a few issues with allergies as well. So, just little things, but they just sort of affected his performance. And, Shepherd, and even though he galloped out of the gate, thought he was just okay there. But just the last sort of 10 days before last week's run, he just turned into a different horse, and we got on top of everything, and he just bloomed. And, I rang Mark Jones last Friday before, last week's race, and I said to him, he's really good. He's the best he's ever been since we've had him. So I knew he'd go good. I knew it'd be hard to beat Leap to Fame, but no, we were wrapped with his run.
The overall mile rate for that middle trip event was very strong, but what was probably more impressive than anything was that last half, 27.426 flat, and you peeled ground off Leap to Fame, something that's not easy to do. How did he feel on the line? Because, of course, we're going over an extended trip on Saturday night, so you'd expect it to be genuinely run throughout and they'll still be getting home strongly. But how did he feel on the line, and how much benefit can we expect through that run 7 days later?
Oh, I think he's come through the run really good, and I think, I don't know if he'll be much better this week, but he won't be any worse. And he just said his time last quarter was 25.8 or something like that, and he just said it was all right getting to Leap to Fame, but it's damn hard to get past him. So, you'd expect this week it's going to be a different race. There's going to be a lot more mid-race pressure, and, you couldn't imagine they're getting home in 26 over the long journey. But this horse had a great preparation through the spring, through the New Zealand Cup. He obviously raced over 2 mile in the Cup and went a great race. So, that's the least of my worries, really.
You've had a few steers on him now and you've driven him in a few different ways. He was able to lead at Bendigo. Obviously, things didn't go right at Shepparton, but he still gained cover. And then again on Saturday night, you're able to use him early and then take some cover. What's your gut feeling on his best pattern from what you've learnt in the last month or so?
Yeah, and from watching his race in New Zealand, Britt, that, probably at this real elite level, he's probably better off a helmet. He can win plenty of races in front when the circumstances, dictate. But, I'd imagine that there's only 2 I'd be letting go. So everyone else is in trouble. But, you think if Swayze or Leap to Fame come early enough in the race that I'd probably be handing up to them. But I wouldn't be handing up to anything else.
All right, that is very interesting indeed, particularly with a horse like Don Hugo drawn off the front row, just on those 2 big guns and where they have drawn. Leap to Fame the inside of the second row, Swayze drawn wide on the second row, and he follows out Canina Problema, who can be a quick beginner, but it's a bit of a tricky draw for Canina Problema as well. We've got a real horse race on our hands now, don't we? And I don't like to say that his competitors sometimes have a defeatist attitude, but you've rightly mentioned that it is mighty hard to beat Leap to Fame. I think everyone is now in with a genuine winning chance. And as I mentioned, he's following out Republican Party. You're drawn in 2. You're going to know exactly where he is. And directly following you is one Chris Alford. It's going to be a tricky drive for Grant Dixon, I'd assume.
Yeah, it's really even up the race, for the rest of us. And as you said, it's a tricky spot. He'll have to probably pull back from there and get off the fence. But in doing that, you allow a lot of horses sort of in front of you, through no fault of Grant's, but just the way it'll be. And he's going to settle a fair way back. So you think Swayze's probably got the advantage over him in the draws. He'll, just keep punching through, I would guess. And as I said, he'll probably get there before Leap to Fame, you'd think.
Absolutely. It's going to be such an incredible tactical battle. And between now and Saturday night, the conversations are going to be ultra intriguing. I think everybody's going to have a differing opinion, and that's what we wanted from this AG Hunter Cup. Really appreciate your time this morning, Ants. We're excited for Saturday night. I'm sure you are even more so now after that barrier draw. As mentioned by Ryan, you're on a quest for your 8th AG Hunter Cup, and you've got a genuine winning chance in Tact McLeod combining with Mark Jones, another Kiwi, and the Kiwis have all drawn the front row as well, so that adds to the interest of this race. Thank you for joining us. Good luck on Saturday, and we'll see you out there.
Thanks, Brett.
Anthony Butt joining us this morning, champion driver, and he's looking for an 8th AG Hunter Cup on Saturday night. His record is quite incredible in the race, and he is looking to add another to that, and he can win it. There's no doubting that. Let's recap what we've just had undertaken here on Sky Racing 1. The barrier draw for the 2025 Group 1 AG Hunter Cup, a Grand Circuit feature. Republican Party drawn 1 for Cran, Chrissy and Carter at Dalgety. Tact McLeod 2. Hector is the first emergency. If he is to gain a start, he will wear the 3 saddle cloth. Therefore, if he isn't there, all of these front row runners will move down a position, including Don Hugo, Canina Problema, Bulletproof Boy, and Don't Stop Dreaming. So that is a front row, 6 runners across the front should Hector not be required as the emergency. So we're going to have a 6 and 6 configuration at this point. Inside of the second row, we have the defending champion, Leap to Fame. Horse number 9 is Can't Find a Better Man. Horse number 10, Captain's Knock. Swayze 11, MacDan 12, Max Delight in 13. So that is how they will line up on Saturday night in the AG Hunter Cup. Now, we are awaiting an updated market. Whilst we wait, we're going to take a break, and on the other side, we'll have that for you, the updated tab market, and we are also going to reveal the, horses for the 2 heats of the Great Southern Star. With this heat final series, it's always really interesting, so we will reveal those races on the other side of this quick break as a part of On the Pace this morning.